Hello, LNG community. Hope you guys are staying safe. So, today let's talk about what is carbon neutral. With carbon neutral being the talk of the town and gaining a lot of traction, it is important to understand the concept behind being carbon neutral. Based on several articles published by Institute of Sustainable Energy that I gleaned, I will try to make an attempt and present my 2 cents here. It is a very simple idea. The sum of all the greenhouse gases that you put into the atmosphere and take out of the atmosphere should balance out to be zero. And that is when you call it carbon neutral. More scientifically, the equation is anthropogenic GHG, greenhouse gas emissions, minus uptake of CO2 via biological processes plus release of CO2 via biological processes should be equal to zero. Anthropogenic means environmental pollution and pollutants originating from human activity. But in practice, it's proven to be very confusing concept as the offset project, continued measurement and certifications are not taken into consideration in this equation. So the corrected formula should technically be anthropogenic GHG emissions minus uptake of CO2 via biological processes plus release of CO2 via biological processes minus quantity of emissions that is offset by certifications or measurements or technological advancements should be equal to zero. The key here is deduction of the emission by offset projects. And that component needs to be added in the equation. So let's talk about what an offset project is. An offset project can be any specific activity which is intended to reduce the greenhouse gas GHG emissions and increase the storage of carbon or enhance the GHG removals from the atmosphere. Typical examples of these offset projects include investment in energy efficiency projects, technological advancements, or forest management such as reforestation, implementing environmental friendly policies, wildlife preservation, and forest preservation. So applying this to the LNG industry, carbon neutral LNG value chain does not simply mean zero emissions. It's not possible that the facility produces zero emissions, but it means adhering to the more focused approach targeting emissions reductions in the upstream or liquefaction side by adopting carbon capture and storage and increasing the plant efficiency. It means rather the emissions are measured, certified, and offset. So deduction of emissions which are offset by certifications, measurement, or technological advancement is very pertinent here. I would definitely like to mention the remarks made by Lucy Cullen, the principal analyst for Asia Pacific gas and LNG area from Wood Mackenzie, when she recently addressed this topic at the Gastech Virtual Summit that just happened few days back. And she made a very convincing point that targeting emissions reduction in certain segment of LNG value chain seems an achievable route to carbon neutral LNG. However, measurement methodologies and standardization will be very critical and important if carbon neutral LNG is to become more mainstream. So, my dear colleagues from LNG world, while the concept of carbon neutral LNG is still in its infancy, the industry is definitely doing their part to achieve carbon reductions in the long term. And I'm hopeful that above and beyond, gas will indeed play a pivotal role in the energy mix while the world goes through the energy transition. So that's my views, friends, and it will be great to hear back from you. As I said, if you have any questions or if you have any viewpoints that you would like to present, do write to me and you can share your views with me at insightlngwithrocky@gmail.com or follow my page Insight LNG. Thank you.